Welcome back to season 4 of Connecting with Purpose, where we're putting founders first, telling the stories of the humans behind the business. From magic moments to purpose, looking back on their entrepreneurial roller coaster to the possibilities ahead. We'll learn how these leaders have navigated their journeys up, around, and away from the performance precipice to achieve growth, results, and impact they're really proud of. Welcome to episode 1 of season 4, where we're upping our game to share 1 episode per week. Every other week, I'll be talking to a founder about their entrepreneurial journey and how they have grown their business, navigated around or away from the performance precipice to achieve the growth and results and impact they're really proud of. In between those episodes, I'm going to do some short, sharp solo episodes on relevant and related content to founders and to leadership teams and senior leaders generally on aligning the contributions of their people to the best possible impact and results that they can have. Taking into account self-leadership, starting with captaining ourselves from inside out. So for episode 1, to live up to my philosophy of live it to give it, I am going to answer 1 question for each of the primary themes that I tend to explore in these conversations with the founders. These will all align to Purpose Fused Purpose, which is inspiring leaders to unlock people's vitality and purpose so they generate their ultimate growth, results, and impact together. So as we do in all episodes, I'm going to kick off with magic moments. These are moments that, with the benefit of time, we score them a 10 out of 10. Both for how we reacted in the moment, but also based upon the impact it had and what came next. These can be amazing peak experiences or significant challenges. And perhaps the most personal, deep one that I can share is around the birth of my eldest son, Hudson, who after some major complications with labour, leading to an emergency C-section, was born grey and still, the slowest 90 seconds of my life until they got him breathing. And even then, he wasn't strong enough to open his eyes or even make a sound. We received some news a few minutes later that he had a life-threatening subdural hematoma and toxins on the brain and had to be flown to a level 4 NICU for life-saving treatment. Doesn't sound like a magic moment, but we fast forward the week of being in that level 4 NICU to the moment where Dr. Randolph comes in with the brain scan results and tells us that they're all clear. At which point, me and my wife and Dr. Randolph embrace and just start dancing. Now, that was a magic moment. But what made it magic was the focus, the positivity, and the presence that I'd committed to that whole week. Nothing else was within my control, so I could focus on the things that were. And that was just being present in the moment and being as positive as I could, try to get that positive energy into little Hudson and supporting my wife. And these are why I consider this a magic moment. When I look back on it, it provided me a new lens on pressure, perspective, possibilities, things that I embrace every day with the people I work with, and perhaps things that I'd unknowingly prepared for my whole life. And the name for that is Miracle Baby. Okay, we'll get to a lighter one. Your entrepreneurial journey. So yeah, what sparked my entrepreneurial journey was the intersection of 3 things. One was kind of a recollection of a moment where somebody believed in me, gave the opportunity to captain a rugby team, and at the same time I got a kick up the backside from my dad saying, if you're going to lead on the field, you've got to lead off the field. And both of those things combined changed my mindset to belief around much higher expectations in my potential. The second thing was looking back on how rugby had just been this incredible development vehicle in my life, like really life-changing from such an early age, and that it had been handed to me on a plate. And the third thing that was in my mid-20s, I was in New York banking, and I liked the people, and then, you know, I liked some of the things that I did, but it was not something I was passionate about. It was not something that was aligned to where my energy is its best, which is around driving towards possibilities and bringing people along. It wasn't aligned to making an impact, to making a difference, and I'm an impact-driven person. So there was no way I was ever going to realize my potential if I couldn't align my passions and energy to that impact through making meaningful contributions. And so taking 2 weeks out from the bank with USA Rugby in that game there in a tournament, USA against England, it just gave me some time and space to step back and reflect and connect the dots. And the outcome was founding Play Rugby USA, which is a youth development non-profit that I set up to inspire and empower young people, primarily from underserved backgrounds, so they could go forward and realise their true potential through the game. And we went on to serve 25,000 kids. And since I exited the organisation through a succession plan at the end of 2018, they continue to make that game-changing impact. Next thing is purpose. Well, my purpose, obviously aligned to the Purpose Fuse purpose, is to create opportunities that inspire people to go forward as the ultimate version of themselves. Now, when we work with people on discovering and unearthing their purpose, we look at passion plus impact plus application, and we dig down deep into all of those things to come up with the component parts of purpose. But a purpose statement answers 3 questions. What am I doing when I'm at my very best? How do I uniquely bring that to life? And what meaningful difference does it make? So when we think about my purpose statement, those 3 elements, inspire is the what. When I'm inspiring people, I'm inspired. That's when I'm at my best. Now, that doesn't mean I can inspire everybody, but it does mean that I can be intentional about that being an outcome I would like to achieve. So inspires the what. Creating opportunities is the how. If I've created something that I truly believe in, that I have a vision around, that can make a huge impact, it can be transformational for a person, as a leader, for teams, that brings up this level of passion and energy and authenticity that enable me to connect and meet people where they're at, from which I can engage with them and move them forward. And if I can help them move forward, I have an opportunity to inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And that ties into the impact, ultimate self. It's continuously bettering your best. It's trying to become the best imaginable version of yourself. And if we all work on that continuous growth, the world would be a much better place. So that's my purpose, and that's how I'm able to bring that to life through Purpose Fused. So then we have conversations around possibilities, like what are the possibilities ahead? Now, I'm a real possibility driven person. In fact, one of my downsides is probably I see too many possibilities and try to pursue too many. So in that vein, the possibility that I am most excited about right now is really focusing on supporting these founder-led businesses. The founders that have been at it for a few years, they've experienced some growth, and they have some different growing pains for the business that they also have to navigate for themselves. And their leadership teams are the unlock to taking their organizations to the next level. So if I can help those leaders become the ultimate version of themselves, their teams become the ultimate teams in terms of generative performance, continuing to perform at their very best, to achieve the growth and results and impact that they want to achieve together, then that is what I'm excited about as the biggest possibility ahead, focusing on that particular segment. So next, we talk about bridging the gap. Great, awesome, exciting possibility. Well, what's getting in the way, or what have you got to bridge or overcome to get there? And I think the biggest challenge for me that I've started to really see some positive momentum around overcoming is making authentic human connections. Not because I'm not good at making authentic human connections, but because to even get the connection, there is so much noise you have to cut through, so many externalities, so many distractions, so much pressure. How do you even get the attention of the person that you're looking to serve and support, and the business that you're looking to elevate into this thriving culture? That's the bridge. And what I've found to be true is that the more time I get to spend in front of people, the more opportunities I have. And the biggest thing I can do to bridge that gap is to really start leaning into this unbelievable network of incredible people that I know, and some of the incredible successful rugby people that I know, and just having conversations with them about who they know. I haven't done enough of that, and that is the one thing that's going to help me bridge the gap. So lastly, we call the last little section playing advantage. So rugby things are going well for your team. The referee gives you that advantage to continue playing until you make a mistake. And there's a number of questions in this, but the one I'm going to answer is this sort of parting message, the words of wisdom, if you like, that I ask the founders to leave with the audience. And mine is, everyone should have a one-page purpose. A one-page purpose is the ultimate chapter, the next chapter of your life, the best it could possibly be, in terms of aligning your activities and your time and energy around your purpose, around the pursuits that you really want to go after, that are aligned to the impact that you really want to have, because that is what fuels that plan with meaning. When you can see it all on a page clearly, you've got the clarity, you've got a cohesive view of you applying your best self to making the biggest impact, driving the most value, elevating your team, and supporting your friends and family and community however you want to. And it's that plan fueled with meaning that enables you to go forward and make that impact. Now, it's one thing me saying everyone should have a one-page purpose without actually giving you a one-page purpose. So anyone that's interested in exploring that further, there's loads of articles and posts and things I've written about it on LinkedIn and on the Purpose Fused website. But you can also just email me at mark@purposefused.com, mark@purposefused.com, and I will send you my one-page purpose, because coming back to the beginning, you've got to live it to give it. So you're welcome to take a look at that. And if you want to have a call to then discuss that and what that can look like for you and how I might be able to help you come up with that best plan for yourself in your next chapter, I'd love to have a chat. Thanks for listening to episode 1 of season 4, Connecting with Purpose. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our first founder conversation. Cheers.